Hello. All right. It is time for yoga. Welcome. I'm Shannon. I will be taking you through some yoga flows, poses, postures. Oops, little camera issue there. I'm going to get it set up here. Okay, get myself centered. All you need today is a little bit of energy, a nice positive mindset, some flexibility, and the ability just to allow yourself to practice these moves using modifications as necessary. So let's get grounded into our mat and always having that sense of your space is in the confines of your mat. So let's start with our feet, what we would consider hip distance apart, shoulder width apart sometimes works well. As we kind of get through this, you'll come back to the centered stance. Let's pull those shoulder blades back, abs come in, elevate, rib cage away from your hips as we lift those arms as you inhale. Big, deep inhale, looking up, seeing where on the ceiling you find your point of view. And then when you exhale, you look to your toes, finding that point of view down here. Kind of your line of sight is going to be that range. Hands are going to come up to your shins, what we call a half forward fold. Back is flat. So from that side view, you are stretching the back of the legs. Hands are pressed into your shins. When we inhale lower, you're looking down, relaxing through your body, relaxing through the back of the legs, taking note if you have any tension anywhere in your chain from your heels up to the back of your legs, through your waistband, through your shoulders. Let your body be heavy here. Let's take a big inhale, coming right back up. So we're going to flow through that. Palms pressed together at the top, little upper body. Exhale, lower, releasing those hands to the ground, bending the knees. If you need to adjust your footing, if you can't touch your hands to the ground, feel free to bend the knees or take your legs wider. Hands go to your shins, half forward fold, sending your shoulder blades down and back, away from ears. You're creating that space. Inhale, lower down all the way, stretching a little bit further, looking through those knees, taking that abdomen, pulling in that core wall. Press your palms together this time, press them and bring them right to your heart center. Here's where you find your whole center. Mentally, you feel centered right here. Close your eyes and take in a nice deep breath. I want you to do a quick little body assessment. In through the nose, you increase that volume capacity in your rib cage. Relax your spine is, reaching the crown of your head upward, grounding your feet into that ground. Nice position between your big toe and your heel, big toe and your little heel. Take a nice positive vibe. Think of something really good that's happened to you, something you're thankful for. Bring that in. As you exhale, you push those arms out, any negativity, lower to the ground. All positive in these confines of your mat and your body today. Let's walk those hands forward on your mat, walk those legs back. Here is your plank. You walk right through this position of a high waistband and you're going into plank, which puts you at a shoulder over the elbows, over the wrists, and then a nice long line from the top of your head through your body, through your hips, down to the back of your legs, and then you're up on those flexed feet. So this is your plank. Feel how solid you are. Now take your feet and hands to kind of the edge of the mat, and there's where you will find what we would consider a wide plank. Hips are going to go up here. You've just created some space as you exhale, reaching that chest to the ground. This is your downward dog. Now, the first time we do this, second time we do this, you want to start feeling the length being created up your heels, in through your calf muscle. Arching the back is going to pull through the hamstrings. Reaching your chest to the floor is going to give you a nice full back stretch. Front of the body is stretching. Inhale, push back forward into plank. Hold the exhale right here. So now you're in more of a working position in this plank. If that's at all too intense, you take your knees down to the floor to release up, but regardless, your hips stay forward. So here's your full plank, that nice long line. Here's a modified plank. You're going to take one leg down at a time, and then we sit back into what we call sense of where are the hips going? How far? Stretch all those arms. Chest is on top of those thighs. And if you know this terminology and these positions, great. Just feel free to flow right through that. I'll walk you through. You should be able to do this without even looking if you know these moves. I should be able to explain it well enough that you can do this without trying to crane your head to see. So this is your child's pose. Hips are back, arms are stretched forward, chest is on your thighs. Inhale, come forward into that knee plank, and then you're going to push back into child's pose. So there's that child's pose. As you exhale, you stretch. Inhale, creating some space in the ribs. Exhale, you push into plank. So see that range of motion? It's not about working my arms here. It's hips go back, stretching the low back, stretch your upper back into your shoulders, chest. This is an easy position. I exhale into that modified plank. Very simple. All right, so inhale, sit back in the child's pose. And this time we're going to stop halfway through. You're going to come up and look at the position. Knees are in line with each of your arms. So from here, you're in what we would call railroad tracks, straight mat, they're level. Then we do cat and cow. You're going to tuck that chin into the chest, arching up like a cat. You exhale, lower that mid back into cow. So your range of motion is happening right at that waistband. Arch it up, pull the ab wall in, look right through, in between kind of your knee position, your upper thighs. Exhale, cow, and you're trying to gain some flexibility here. Arch it up, stretch, and I kind of push forward. That's going to lengthen everything down the back. Exhale into that arching position. Look over the right shoulder, over that left shoulder, as if you're wagging your tail to create some lateral movement there. So back to the right, back to the left, inhale to the center, arch it up. As you exhale, reach your body forward. Inhale, back, stretching your arms a little bit further, turn your palms up to the ceiling, and then pull those fingers into your palms. So you're getting that rotation in your forearms and maybe a little bit of a stretch. Any wrist issues, sometimes that becomes a little bit more intense with all these forward positions. So just be aware of that. Take a break as you need to. Let's get this up back stretch. You're going to thread the needle. Right arm is going under, and I'm going to sit back in child's pose, look toward my right palm, and the goal is to stretch the back of this right side long through that back of the shoulder. Relaxing your body, left arm is reaching forward, and you've got that palm to the ground. Once again, you roll the palm up here. That may or may not release any tension in that forearm. You're going to inhale, come forward. Switch, exhale, left arm threads that needle, look toward the left in child's pose. Hello, Lissy. Just in time. You're stretching back of that left shoulder. And you're going to inhale, come forward. Turn those toes under. Exhale, downward dog. Press it back. Pedal those feet up. Hips go up high. Inhale, look forward. Step this left leg forward. This is your lunge. So now you've got that left leg forward into the lunge. Again with the alignment. I'll kind of square myself up so you can see. Railroad tracks. Left leg is forward. Right hand gives some balance and reach. Nice and tall. Just like that. Nice straight hand to the ceiling. Inhale. Here's your standing split stance. Nice and long. Back of that left leg is getting that stretch. Bring that forehead to that left knee, right foot to the floor. Inhale, bend that left leg. Lunge. Exhale, plank. Take that wide. Nice and long like this. Let's rotate back in that right side. Here's a side plank. So we'll flow through these movements once you feel like you have the position down. Hips are high. Inhale, come back into plank. Let's take those knees down. Exhale, sit back into child's pose. So working it pretty easy these first few movements, just so you can kind of get a sense of how intense is this going to be, how smooth are you moving through this. There's some arm strength here. Inhale, push it forward. Turn those toes under. Exhale, plank. Hips go up high, downward dog. Press those hips back, chest to the floor. And let's pedal those legs. Inhale, come back forward. Oh my, okay, wow. Always time to play when it's yoga time. And right arm up to the ceiling. Now you're leaning that left side. Never fails. Reaching that arm up high. She doesn't get the sense, and now it's a game. And inhale, straddle that right leg. Exhale, split stance. Press back. Here's where you get centered into your mind. Avoid the noise as much as you can. Inhale, right leg. Oh my goodness. And we're going to lift up again. Send that leg back into plank. Rotate into that left side, right arm reaches. Side plank is here. Now this is challenging. So from the side, you've got a high body here. If that's too much, take it down to that knee. And rotate back. This time, downward dog. Press those hips back into downward dog. Step as you inhale, left leg forward, right leg forward, full forward fold. Now, typically you'll step your feet together. Can you still touch the ground here? If not, widen them out. Hands to your shins, half forward fold. Real basic movements. We're going to flow through that a few times. Exhale, full forward fold. And inhale, step the left leg back. So we're working this backwards. Right leg, low lunge. Reach that right arm nice and high. So let's make a big circle. So I'll just add a few things to this. Opening up that shoulder, looking as you pass through, go the other way. If that's too much head movement, then just keep your head looking at your mat or your foot. The circling of the arm is too much, take it down. Straddle that leg. Exhale, press back, split stance. And each time we do this, you're getting a little more flexibility, maybe pushing a little bit further, holding in another second or another breath. Inhale, bend. Exhale, plank. Hips go high, downward dog, press it back. Long stretch right there. Inhale, looking forward, and left leg steps forward. Okay, this is unacceptable. No, Lucy, no. Oh my goodness. Low lunge. Reach up with that left hand. Big long side stretch. Or down low, sit into that hip. Inhale, straddle that left leg. Exhale, straighten that left leg. Bring your head toward that knee. Looking back at your right heel here. Move with your breath. Big, long, deep breath here. You inhale. You bend. There's that nice low lunge. Exhale, plank. Hips go up high, downward dog. Nice and easy to flow through that. That's not so bad. This time we inhale, come into plank. Exhale, lower your body to the ground, and then we come up. So little up dog here. Hands are tucked into your side. Lift up your chest. Okay, this is completely unacceptable. And you're stretching. Inhale, lower down, hands underneath you. Exhale. Reach those arms out in front of you, and then turn those palms up to the ceiling. And you're just off of those wrists. The next rotation, I'm going to get us to stand, and we'll come back into the lunge just to avoid this wrist position. So start low, balance is not challenged. We're going to challenge a bounce next. Inhale, push it forward. Turn those toes under. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, step the right leg forward. Exhale, step the left leg forward. Come all the way up on that big deep inhale, all the way up to the center. Back where we started. Exhale, right leg steps back this time. Now together. Oh, this dog is just like, it's just on cue. Trying to do something and she goes berserk. And rotate. So now you've got the balance challenge. We're standing. So pressed palms together is going to be harder. This is gonna be fine. This is gonna be fine. You're gonna rotate over that left leg, placing the right elbow on the knee. Palms pressed here is just gonna challenge you. So take note of how wide your back leg is. And you're just looking over those hands, nice and easy. Feel that stretch as we did in the threading the needle. And there's your focus. We're holding a little bit longer. You're low in that lunge. You're gonna inhale, come up, high lunge or series of flow edge. Front leg is forward. Left arm is reaching. Chest is up high. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. So now we've gone into low side angle. You are not down on, what am I trying to say, on a lower stand. You're more from the upper position. My right hand is reaching to the ceiling, left hand to the foot, and there's your low side angle. When I straighten out this leg, that's gonna give me Trikonasana, so a triangle pose. Inhale, bend that leg, exhale, reverse. Looking up through that left hand. Oh my God. Okay, this has got to be done. Move, rotate, all the way down. Okay, go on, Lucy, go on. Not time to play. Low lunge, we've come right back where we started. Exhale into plank. And then we rotate into that left side. There's that side plank. Now on the side plank, we add on to this. So know your modifications. This right arm is going to go under. Up. So you're taking that thread the needle position, lift, rotate under, and lift, rotate under. This can be done on the knee. This is a lot of tension here. I can be on my elbow, doing a side plank, knee down, and rotating. There's a nice modification. I don't have to move anything. 5 and 4, give me your best. 3 and 2, we untwist. We bring both knees down, sit back in a child's pose. Anytime this gets too intense or flowing too swiftly, come back into a rest, come back into child's pose, get off of your wrists as you need to. Take a nice big long stretch here. We're gonna progress, stepping back with the other side. Or turn those toes through plank here. Take another deep breath as you lengthen. You look toward your hand, step or jump both feet forward. As you exhale, catch your balance right there. Take a big deep inhale, lift it all the way up. Palms together. This time we step back, left leg. So high lunge, get your balance first before we start to twist. That'll be the key. Palms pressed together is gonna be the higher level challenge. Twist, looking over the right leg this time. So if you feel tippy, take those arms apart, avoid the twist, look straight ahead if that works for you, or widen out your stance. Twisted low, twisted lunge right here, nice and long. We exhale, come up out of this into your 2 position, chest is open, arms are out wide, that back leg is parallel to the back of the mat. Right leg is forward, or hands forward, reach forward down to that foot. Left arm goes up to the ceiling. You are sitting low into that bent right leg, low side angle. You're going to exhale into Trikonasana, straightening out that leg. Nice triangle pose. Feel that stretch in the back of that hamstring of that front leg. Wherever you place your hand, if you can't reach to the floor, come up in your thigh or your calf. And we inhale, bend. Exhale, straddle. And then press back into that split stance. Inhale, bend, send it back into the plank, and this time we rotate into the right side. Right side plank, left arm is to the ceiling. You know your options. This left arm is gonna thread the needle. We go under and reach, thread, like you're gonna tap underneath that right arm, right back up to the ceiling. You want to be specific about the rotation, and the rotation's coming from your waistband and above, your core. That 4, reach, use your breath. Don't worry about the pace. Do what you can do in this next 2. And last 1. Rotate back to the front, lower your body all the way down, come up into Chaturanga. There, okay. Adding on still from this, so we can go from that low position from the ground, we can go from the standing position. I'll take us through a few more of those flows. Do what you can Inhale, lower down. Arms are tucked in. Turn those toes under. Exhale, come into the plank. Now this time, jump or step your feet forward. And we sit in that low seated chair. So now you've sat down low. You're pressing your hips back, but watch the knees. They're not going too far forward. This is where you should be. Now you've got that flat. Weight is in the heels, and I can be right here. Let's shake those arms out. Rotating here. Nice. Feel that where that weight is. You're working those legs. That's too intense. You can be here. It shouldn't hurt your back. Inhale, lift it up. Right into the twisted low lunge we go. Over that left knee. Now you want to add on. We're going to open those arms. The back of your right arm will push into that left knee. If that isn't working for you, take that arm away from your foot. So what you do with this right arm is going to be how much rotation you get in that core. Low. This time, exhale, straighten into that twisted triangle pose. Pulling your abs in tight, pushing back on your inhale, rotate, straddle that leg. You kind of bend that left leg and then straighten. Head goes to that knee. Long, straight, standing split stance. Bend that left leg, extend, and you lift up that back leg. So we're adding onto this. We're just adding on into this balancing position. If you can lift that right arm up and away, great. If not, you're here. There's nothing wrong with that. Inhale, come back into a low lunge. Exhale, high lunge. So that's a little more challenging just balance-wise. So you're up and right into warrior. Right into that warrior two. Pull the shoulder blades back. Inhale, left arm reaches forward, down to that left foot, looking up to your right hand. Low side angle. So not twisted anywhere here. Exhale, Trikonasana. So see how we worked right back into this same leg position. It's just now your arms are different. Inhale, lower, bend that leg. Exhale, reverse. Come up, we cartwheel all that body weight around down to that leg, into the lunge. We send that leg back into plank, and then we send it up to the ceiling. So now that goes up to the ceiling, knee to the nose. Left leg up to the ceiling, knee to the nose. So from that side position, I go forward, press back into that heel as that left leg lifts, knee to the nose, exhale to the ceiling. Look at that position, low here and forward, reach back and extend. Pull it in, reach back and extend. 4, 3, adding on a lot to this movement. 2, that left leg is gonna come all the way forward into pigeon. Okay, whew. That might get the heart rate up a bit. You may feel like you're working, maybe getting a little warmer. You increase that body temperature and your muscles are like taffy. They're gonna stretch with that. So be conscientious if it's gotten cold out as it is here in Minnesota. You may find that it takes a little bit longer to feel flexible, to feel comfortable. Now here we're stretching out the back of that left side. How far your left foot is toward that hand is really about your knee and what feels good. You want to take some of that weight off. I'm going to go right over those elbows, down on the ground, over that shin, and feel that long stretch in the back side. Relaxing your head here is going to help take that tension out of your neck. If you carry tension up there, which a lot of us do, you want to be aware of that. Right ear to the right shoulder, left to the left. Palms go down to the ground, rotate that right foot, send that leg back, and now look at your low plank. This sounds easier because you're on your elbows, but everything down that middle is engaged to keep you really strong in this plank position. And we hold it. Take a nice deep inhale. And we exhale. Focus on that breathing. Deep, deep inhale. Bring it into the rib cage. Abs are still in tight. Exhale, knees go down and press back into child's pose. All that weight sits back under your thighs. You release the tension out of your arms, out of your abs. And even if you drop your forehead to the mat, feel that strength That whole stretch happening in the backside. All of your tension is released with that exhale. Now push your body forward, toes go under, exhale, come plank, right through downward dog. Look, step or jump both feet forward, and exhale into chair pose. Okay, so once again, now from the side, there you are. Avoid doing this and having your heels come up. Sit that way, both arms back and lift. That should feel really good. You shake those arms out. If you like singles, that's fine. You don't want the legs in here, that's okay. You want to just come into balance, this is fine too. So take your position and you're just holding 4, 3, 2, inhale, bring it up with the left leg, right into that low twist. So repeating this whole entire thing. Get that elbow onto that knee. You may find one side's easier than the other. If you can, open up those arms. This time the left elbow will leverage the right leg, or your modification is out here. And that leg, this is not equal on both sides for me. So I'm going to move my hand out. Twisted Trikonasana. Triangle pose in that twist position. Not imbalanced. I'd rather have you tight on both sides than loose on one and really tight like this. And inhale, straddle that leg. Exhale, split stance. So now we're back to normal. Both hands are straddling that right foot this time. You're going to bend that right leg, lift that left leg up, and then there's that balancing posture. If you can get rid of that left arm, feel how strong you are on that base leg, closer to the foot, touching that same ankle. And if that is working for you real easily, then change your point of view to your top hand. Look toward those left fingertips. Holding. Inhale, come back, down low, up nice and high here. Warrior 2. Lunge into that right thigh, pull that chest, open it back, arms are reaching straight out, right hand comes forward, down to that right foot, look up to that left hand, low side angle, reaching that left end of the ceiling. Exhale, Trikonasana right there. Without the twist, it's a lot easier. Feel that flexibility being increased in the back of that right leg. We inhale, bend that right leg, exhale, reverse. Up through that palm we go, long through that front of your body. Inhale, cartwheel those arms around. Catch your balance on that low lunge, get a deeper stretch. Slide that right leg back into plank, then to the ceiling that goes. So find the arm position and then knee to the nose. I'm forward. Exhale, push back. Knee to the nose. Exhale, push back. Forward. Breathing right through this. Lift. And 2. That knee comes all the way up. And now we've got the pigeon on the right side. There, set into that. Catch your breath if that was a little intense. Nice and gentle on that hip. And remember, you can come down to this position at any time. Feel that length. Release the tension out of your neck. You can even bend your elbows and feel those muscles. That's your traps, your trapezius. That elevates your shoulders. So if you carry stress in your shoulders, we tend to tense up or shrug the shoulders. That will create tension all the way through your neck and then down there. Take those palms to the floor. Get those toes on the left foot. Elevate it, slide that right leg back. Low side plank. Low plank is right here, not side plank, just low plank. Nice and long. Then we rotate, drop your left hip, rotate, drop your right hip. Your goal here is to use only the width of your mat. So you're really rotating and your hips are tapping into that railroad track position, not off of the mat. It's rotate. When your arms are in that plank on the elbow, you have a little bit tighter. So you really have to rotate here, up and over, like you're going up over a little barrel on your mat. 5, 4, think about where that work is coming from. 3, 2, take your knees down, push back into child's pose, long through there. Oh, that should feel really good. Reach that left arm forward, right arm forward. You kind of slide your hand in that forward position as you lean to that side. Reach, nice and long up that side of your body. Reach. Inhale, come forward. This time stay low, step the left leg forward wide, right up outside of your mat, then lift up, left leg outside of your mat. So if you've been spending a lot of time seated, we're gonna have that tightness right here, hip flexor, glutes, right into that inner thigh. This is gonna stretch that out. Spend some time just kind of shifting. I shift over to this right leg, looking at my left. Over to the left, look at my right. That is just gonna give you some hip mobility. And if you can sit all the way over, I'm gonna reach that right hand. It's a nice long stretch from the inside of the leg down to that heel. That shouldn't be real challenging. Come back up and over. Reach with that left hand. Not to compromise this side. You have some flexion on this, but it's really about leveraging that stretch on the inner thigh. Inhale, come back to the center. Look where your elbows are. I'm going to step back just a bit. I'm going to drop the hips down low here. If you can come into this, this is a really good hip opener. Now, if you have something, a table, a chair, something by you just to assist if you can't get down to that to hang on to, by all means, but this should feel good. Elbows are pressing into those. Those knees are going to rest on that back of your arm, right below kind of your muscle of your tricep, on that elbow getting close to the joint. I'm gonna bring those hands back down to the mat, and then I'm just gonna step my feet in. So my feet are coming a little bit closer. From the side, you're gonna see me leaning into my hands. So the right arm in front of me, I'm just gonna lean. My feet are still on the ground. I come back, I'm on my feet, come forward, I'm toward my hands. I'm gonna walk my feet back further, and then the weight shifts, and I'm on the back of those elbows. Who knew I'd get you into a tripod? So if you're not trusting of yourself, by all means, you can put pillows underneath your head, start with your head on something, or if you're into handstands, you do that back in the day, start with your head down low, then get your arms in position. It's really a balancing thing. So I don't know if it's easier to kind of get that from the front, but elbows push into the legs first, hands come to the floor, then I just let my body weight go forward, look back at my toes, and then point the toes away from the floor, and you're balancing. Simple as that. I know it looks easier said than done, but give it a try. That's something you can do at any point. Okay, let's take it down on the floor. Right onto your mat. Get my body over here. Cross those legs. Okay, sometimes we do a lot of standing or that prone position down on the floor. That can get taxing on those arms. We want to make sure we stretch that out and then give them also a break. Right hand going to sweep behind you. Left hand goes to that right leg, and you're just sitting up tall, which is going to wring out the spine. So I'm looking over this right shoulder, pushing into that right leg, keeping my sit bones down in the middle. How far I let my chin go over that right side. Inhale, come to the center. Exhale, straight down over the top. Breathing with the stretches is going to add relaxation mentally and then give some oxygen to those muscles. Only go to that point of tension, not pain. Inhale, sit up. Left hand goes behind you. Right hand across to that left leg. Look back over that shoulder. And we inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, walk it out. roll that body forward over those legs. Inhale, bring both behind those legs out and look at you. Kind of tuck those hands behind you. So from the side, those elbows are here. I'm going to sit into this and bend. This stretch goes right across the top of the body. Big inhale. Exhale, sink into that. Feel that nice stretch. Inhale, come forward, reach flat back over the tops of those thighs. You're grabbing your toes. Here, if you have a prop, anything really works. A strap is what we use in yoga to assist that stretch. We have little bars you can hang on to, whatever to get your hands beyond your feet, and then that chest down over your thighs. You're going to take that long, like we do standard stretch, but now you're sitting in a sitting position, seated position. Let's bring those feet close to us. So from the side, I'm going to show you. We're going to lay down on that area where we did our cat and cow. We're going to bring our knees in. So that same exact arching, now you're going to work to keep that part of your body engaged. As soon as I bring my knees in, that's going to actually put weight here. It's going to make that position easier. The goal is to keep your vision, your line of sight, right at your knees or toward your toes. Avoid looking up because it's just going to add some strain and you're going to end up feeling the weight of your head, which makes your neck work harder. So the hands behind the head is going to support that position, but it's also weight that's going to be resistant. So if you can do this like in Pilates, great. This would be level 2. This would be even less than level 1. I'm hanging on, helping. As you elevate your feet, you create tabletop. So you've got a straight up 90 from your hip, 90 degrees to your at your knee joint. So there's a strong tabletop. Hands are behind your head. We're going to lift those legs up, which may make it easier. But for me, who's not flexible, that actually is more challenging because the weight is not vertical. It wants my abs to do the work. Hold them as high as you can, pulling your shoulder blades off the floor, and we drop the right leg, left leg, right leg, left leg. This is just a basic leg drop. If you've done Pilates, engaging the core. The goal is for nothing to move here. Let that leg work your abs. Breathe, exhale. 10 and 9 and 8. Elbows open is going to be a little bit harder. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. Bring the knees into the chest. Relax. Now relax here, meaning take the tension out of your shoulders. Let that shoulder blade go back onto the ground. Drop your knees over to this. You really are not the star of the show today. Oh yeah. And bring those knees back in the center. Open up those arms, drop them over to the other side. This is getting that low back hip stretch. Big deep inhale right here. Come back in. You can look up to the ceiling. I typically wouldn't have you do that, but when you're laying back here, I want you to take the tension out of your chest. Hands are going to be by your side. These knees are going to roll into your chest. Heels are going to be on the floor. So when you're on heels on the floor, take note of your back arches. If it arches, then you're going to work a little bit harder. Goal is to keep rib and hip down and flat. I pull my knees in, feet to the floor. Pull my knees into my chest. So it's a reverse curl like this. I'm not going high with my feet. It's more about rolling like a tiny little ball. I roll my hips and lift, lay them back on the ground, not having the movement at that rib to the chest. So that stays flat. Pull it in, exhale. And it's control. How much arm are you using to do this? If you want to challenge, bring your arms over your head and then look straight up. Knees come into the chest, drop your feet. Inhale, pull, relax, exhale. Inhale as you lower, exhale as you crunch. Nice, give me 4 more. And feel that working. You are contracting from that rib right down into your hip, making that area small. 3, 2, feet go to the ground, and then we push up, engaging the exact opposite. Now you're working that last rib in your back through your glutes. Squeeze tight, let this just relax right here. Head, neck, and shoulders are open. Big deep inhale in through that nose. You are a pest. Exhale, lower back down. Hug those knees into the chest. Really good like that. You can roll side to side, releasing that back. Let's drop it. Lay your palms open to the ceiling. You want a deeper stretch. Back to that leverage. Extend that leg out, your top leg out, and let that weight stretching that low back into that glute down the back of your leg. Move. You pull that knee in first. Keep your abs in tight. Pull them through the middle. Come over to this left-hand side, extending that left leg. You always want to be real gentle when you're twisting or working your back in a rotation. You never want to just fling it or put too much weight out here, because your low back will take that tension and it'll disperse it where it needs to. If you're not strong enough, something will give. So make sure you're moving conscientiously or with some contracted abs. He's come back into the center. Let's take those all the way straight out. This time, arms over your head. Take a nice big inhale. Feel free to let your back arch away from the floor. That's going to stretch out that front of your body. As you exhale, arms just come along to your side. And just find that really nice, comfortable position and envision body alignment being in what we consider complete, perfect alignment. Heels are together. They're at that same exact level. You can point and flex those toes, circle your ankles, and then relax the legs. Then you've got your knees lined right up with them. Your hips are square right on in tracking, what we call tracking to your knees. And then your rib cage and your chest and your shoulders are make that nice big rectangle, evenly distributing your weight amongst those points, the back of your shoulder and probably somewhere in your pelvis. Arms are to your side, elbows are on the ground, palms are on the ground. Take a nice deep breath in here, relax those shoulders, pull them back, and then just roll your right ear to the right shoulder, left ear to the left shoulder. Look to the left side, just roll your head. Look to the right side. Come back into that center. Pull that left knee into the chest. Pull the right leg into the chest. Little hug there is going to have your arms giving your low back a little break. Grab underneath those knees, roll it back up into that seated position. Cross those legs out in front of you, sitting up nice and tall. Take a nice deep breath in. Feel the space. What you want to think about is how you lengthened your spine. Each vertebrae that's stacked on your back, you want to create some space, lifting, making yourself taller, pulling your shoulder blades back. This left arm goes up and over, looking toward your right side. You're in the confines of your mat. My right hand is right to the edge of my mat. Left arm is up and over. And then we switch. Left hand to the floor, right arm up and over. Good movement today. Let's shake it out here. A few little rough moments with a dog and a bottle, but we're good. Bring those feet together, bring your body weight forward. And like I said, it's practice. Practice will make perfect. Yoga, you're never really going to get perfect. We keep pushing. Give me that last forward fold. Relax your head, neck, and shoulders. Do this over and over. It gets easier. You get into a flow. You get into a place where you're lengthening those muscles. You can hold the poses longer. You can get a little bit deeper. Maybe you can do the practice with your eyes closed because you know exactly how this goes. Let's tuck that chin to the chest, pushing your hips forward as you pull your rib cage over your hips to that full standing position. Circle those shoulders back, give me a little more rotation. Back into the center, we find that grounded position. We inhale, palms come back together. All that positive work and energy, you bring it right into your heart center. Sending out positive, good vibrations to you. Exhale and namaste. Thank you so very much. See you on the next video.